Here on Guilty by Association's podcast, we are shedding light on life experiences from our own guilty flaws, lessons learned, and still learning as men and taking a positive outlook from negative circumstances. Blended with tackling hot topics impacting us and our communities today, GBA is about making moves. We will be diving deep and shedding light on important social issues that keep you in motion. So come take a ride with us through this thing called life, with exciting discussions and interviews that will be brutally honest and fun. As you enjoy, remember that you will be guilty by associations.
Don't let people with small minds tell you that your dreams are too big. DMX.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on?
I know it's been a while. But look, this is something that's kind of near and dear to me since the beginning, since we started the Guilty by Associations podcast. I want to do this episode, the top 5 dead or alive. Mm-hmm. You know, really, it's just a subject that every guy we know or we grew up with debated about. You know, so I always wanted to get with my crew to see, you know, where your mind was at in regards to this subject. Now, the twist of this show is not only are we going to talk about the top 5 MCs, but we're going to also add on several other categories in top 5. But I want to just step back and talk about one other thing because of the timing, because we've selected this show before what happened recently, which was the passing of the phenom, the hood poet, the incomparable DMX. Yes. So we're going to touch on that also. You know, the timing is just kind of eerie. But I think it's right on time, you know, pay a little homage on top of that for DMX. But I ain't going to talk us to death, fellas. I'm going to pass this mic to my man, Alexander. We're going to take it away from there.
All right. What's going on, good people?
What's going on,
been a
man?
minute. Been a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what we're going to have in common up on these top 5. Our top 5 categories, like L Book was saying, we're going to see what we get into. I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of curious to see what we wind up having in common. So our top 5, we're going to have our top 5 categories are going to be athlete, actor, rappers, moguls, and also the social media icons, you know.
All right.
Because we got to throw that social media in there nowadays. You know, we got some young folks listening.
Right.
You know. But anyway, so we all want to start at. We already know we got to get to DMX. So I don't know if we want to just jump in and save that for.
Maybe we can touch on that towards the end. It don't matter.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into go ahead and go alphabetical. So let's go with actors. That'll throw things off. That'll throw through a wrench. Actors. So when we talk about actors, we're gonna talk about our top 5. We also said for our assignment here, for our homework for this episode, is to try to come up with one main reason why we just kind of get through our list quicker for, you know, listeners or what have you, is to list at least one reason why we like this particular icon or rapper or whatever, right? So actor, who want to take the dive at it first?
I'll go first. It don't matter.
Big Mike in the building.
Now this isn't in any particular order, but I'm sure if y'all don't have this one on there, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But I got Denzel Washington.
No doubt.
He was my number 1.
Yeah, for how long he's been doing it, and there's so many reasons I can say that. That's my man. Even now that he's older, he knows how to make it work for him. So, second is Angela Bassett. I mean,
okay.
I mean, Tina, she killed it, and I mean, she plays she even played Biggie's mom.
Yeah,
right.
Third, I put Taraji Henson. I mean, you go from Baby Boy to Cookie to, she just does her thing. Fourth, I really want to put Sam Jackson on here, but I want to put a little bit of vanilla and chocolate on this one. So I got Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast. and 5. Now y'all probably got either one of these.
Well, why Leo? Because you remember
because like we're like the same age, and it's like it seemed like he's been in the game. He's still kind of like fairly young, but it seemed like he's been in the game forever, and he's played so many different roles.
What was that movie? He was in the horse. He cut the horse open and slept in the horse.
Oh yeah, that was what was that joint? That was a beast. I forgot that one when he had to cut the when he was about to freeze and it was like them.
The bear bit him.
Oh yeah,
and the bear bit him and all that. And he had to cut the horse open and sleep inside the horse.
Yeah, you should get an Oscar just for that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And 5, I got a tie between Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, and they played comedy roles and gangster roles.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cheat because you can go ahead. I'm gonna let you know if you want. I know it's on the spot. I didn't tell y'all, but I do have on my list a bunch of honorable mentions. So if you want to throw an honorable mention,
okay,
you can. Big Mike.
Well, that was Samuel Jackson. I mean,
Samuel Jackson,
hardest working man that I know. Until I mean, he's got a story for you, man. So I'd say Samuel Jackson honorable mention, and I like Tom Hanks. And Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's one thing I know I don't know for y'all. I know for me, one of the things when it came down to putting this list together for all of the categories, it's like it was always hard, right? So it's like there's so many more, but it's always hard when you got to put 5 into a list because it can go on and on. So I know we don't know none of these people, probably some of these people personally like that. So don't take no offense, you know what I'm saying? But and there were some people that's supposed to be on this list that we just had to shrink it down. So we still new in the game. Don't knock our podcast off because you didn't get on the list now. You know what I'm saying? We may save it for next time. Elbow, what you got?
Well, for actors, of course, Denzel's on the list. That's as they say, as Jada said, unfortunately, Denzel had to be crooked before he took it. He didn't get an Oscar until he was, a crooked cop,
which was crazy. Didn't he get supporting for Glory?
He got supported for Glory, but he got leading actor for Training Day. So that Glory, when that one tear ran down his cheek, I think every black person was crying in the theater. Like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah, so
we're gonna leave it alone about it. He had to take him to get whipped in order to I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm sorry.
No all right. So this is no particular order. None of mine in a particular order.
Mine either.
So my next actor would be Robert De Niro. De Niro, all the gangster movies and stuff he did. He's just like he's the ultimate gangster.
Yes.
Like a Soprano type situation.
And then he killed Meet the Parents, man, at a comedy
role,
man.
Yeah, he's funny. I seen Dirty Grandpa. Oh man.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even it was crazy. He's hilarious.
Funny, man.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's on my list too. Yeah.
Next on my list is Viola Davis.
Yes.
She's a phenomenal actress, man. Snot Bubble from Fences.
Oh man.
You can't. That's a one take situation. She was feeling that.
Yeah, she deserved. She deserved awards. Everything she does because she have that snot. She have a snot in every picture she cries snot every time.
Yeah, she always crying about something, man.
Yeah, she knows how to get into. She knows how to get into that deep place.
She's phenomenal. Somebody who's still alive, which I'm happy about, Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier broke down a lot of barriers. Look Who's Coming to Dinner. Heat of the Night. Mr. Tibbs. You name it. It's a lot of stuff that he done. Then he also did comedy too with Bill Cosby back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh man, them show. I still got DVDs. Let's Do It Again. Uptown Saturday Night.
I can't forget about that.
Yeah, I remember watching that. My dad, I watch it with my dad and whatnot. So it reminds me of good memories. So Sidney Poitier, and there's a class act on top of that. Truly classic. The last on my list, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Even though he's a comedian, the guy's hilarious. When movies come out, we've been online to see it. All of them.
I mean, his range of. Man, look at the classic movies, man. He's been in.
Yeah. Even the new Coming to America, it wasn't the same as the first one, but it was good. It was good to see everybody alive.
It wasn't good to me, but that's another.
Hey, like, once again, that's everybody's opinion. Everybody's opinion.
But
And if I want to give an honorable mention, I would say Sam Jackson also.
yeah,
Because that guy been in a million movies, man.
dog. But he's
And nobody can cuss like that dude, man. I'm not advocating cussing, but he said you mean it. You can feel it.
Man.
This guy is going off. But Sam Jackson,
and some things he say that fun. I know it's all acting. I know they do research for roles, but I know like the movie Negotiator he was in. I promise that scene he did with the when he was messing with the negotiator, just kind of fucking with him, and like you can't out talk me. There were some things he actually said in that role where it was like I actually used that kind of when I'm working, like I could just kind of read through, like I see through your eyes. You can't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? You can't negotiate with me. He with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
He killed Django, man. I mean,
yeah. In the big house.
Yeah.
Yo, that was hilarious.
Who's that nigga on that net?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny. Who you got? Alexander?
So my 5, Denzel, all day, number 1. He was now I know I did not necessarily in the order, but I ain't gonna lie, that's number 1 for me.
Yeah,
the actors. I think he represents us well all the way around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Obviously we don't know these folks personally, but just from his roles, just the way he carries himself, and from what I gather, what his morals are, even from personally and professionally, I think he does. He represent well. You're right. Also, that seems I wrote something down. I want to make sure that well, really for all of the categories, but definitely for the actors. For me, being a kid who grew up loving TV, loving cinema, and all that stuff, loving movies and shows, is that I definitely want, you made me think about it, when you mentioned Sidney Poitier, that I definitely want to take a second to thank all of the legends, like those Sidney Poitiers, the Nina Simones, and people that paid way, that had to go through a lot, for us to be able to get entertained like we are, and still got some struggles to go, but I definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge those legendary, actors and actresses that, well, I know some actors like to be called actors, but they're just actors in general, male, female, that paved the way for our entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's how we got a podcast now, yo.
Right.
No doubt. So my second one, just like I'm doing, like Mike here, mix it up here. I got Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah.
Tom done been.
Well, Tom Cruise.
Tom is like Tom is the Rihanna of He made number hits, man.
Yeah.
Megastar.
Yeah, I put it like his futuristic. He's always having some intriguing movies. He's not afraid to go beyond some other boundaries. He's always ahead. He's always ahead, right? I always feel like he's always ahead when it comes to, like, especially in his later career, latter part of his career.
Right.
Like a lot of futuristic stuff, even the Mission Impossible stuff. Is like he's always thinking very forward, thinking ahead. So I always that's one thing I like about Tom Cruise. Then right behind him is actually, it's not an order at this point. But I had to put it in order only just so it could be able to drive home my next person, Will Smith.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Will Smith. I feel like Will Smith is like, no offense to all of our, I know we got a mixed audience, but Will Smith to me is like a white Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to like his movie selections and the things he selects. So and then I just love from him coming from a rapper to, I think he did one of the best transition.
Yeah,
awesome transition from rapper to actor.
Yeah, highly sought after in Hollywood.
He put in a lot of work too, man.
A lot of work. Like Ali, all of those.
Like going back to Denzel, man, he like really researches his character, because even before he did Training Day, man, he spent a lot of time with cops and gang members, man. So just want to throw that.
And then with Denzel, like going back to Denzel, and he's one of those kind of actors. And I could say Will probably the same way. They so real that they're not afraid to go in those settings to really get to get the information, and to get, like you said, to feel comfortable to be around in the hood and around the cops, stuff like that. So Samuel Jackson was my next one, because the grind, his grind.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying it up to this point. Another one is my fifth one was Courtney Vance.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett husband. Yeah,
right.
I loved him when he played Johnny Cochran, man.
Yeah, I know you gonna like that one.
I love that scene, man. when
he
Chris
be- yo,
Jordan
he-
come up to him and says, "Oh, we keep respectful between us," and he says, "I ain't trying to keep this respectable, brother. I'm trying to win."
Big Mike, I know you gonna like that one. I knew that was your man. I know
Yeah,
that's your
that's my
line
boy,
there.
man.
But I do. You need to, if y'all haven't seen it yet, that new Aretha Franklin
Yeah,
documentary series.
We were
I
talking
gotta
about
check
that.
it out.
He's killing it in there. He's killing it in there. And but he's just super talented. You know, I think he's one of those sleeper actors that, you know, that he got a very diverse category, you know what I'm saying, of his different roles he played. And because it took me a minute to get, you know, for him to play Aretha's dad being a preacher and on this traveling preacher. But after a couple, you know, because it's like a series, and after a couple episodes, it was like, man, he's off the chain in here. So it's definitely, if you have not watched it, that Aretha, you got to check it out. And then my honorable mention was, I had a tough one with this one. My honorable mention was actually Robert De Niro, but I also had Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's a beast.
Don Cheadle's a beast.
Yeah,
Hotel
man,
Rwanda.
man, he's
a beast.
Don Cheadle's a beast. But Robert De Niro, coming from comedy, going from serious actor to comedy, like you were saying, I still love the Meet the Parents, collection. He kills it in that. So I think, he can go from his range as well. And then, question, he got a sister on the arm, you know what I'm saying? So,
well,
that's what's up.
Yeah, he's always had a little thing for the chocolate. So
all right, so that's our actors. So let's go to athletes.
All right.
I think we'll go to athletes.
Okay.
All right, let's go switch up. L Book, set it off. Switch up.
All right. Well, I know this is on our list, and if it ain't on the list, we get off the show. Jordan.
Yeah,
Mike
that's
Jordan,
number one.
You know what? And actually, and without even saying, there's no certain order. He is on my top of my list. He is top of my list.
Yeah.
Jordan, because he's Jordan. You know, he's a phenom. He did things that no one ever seen in basketball. He got the world literally killing for his shoes, which is not a good thing. But that's the impact he's made on the world. You know,
right.
He is what taught athletes about branding.
Branding
is.
But what I respect most about Michael, he put his team on his back. He put his city on his back. I remember watching documentaries, and he took the sorriest center, in my opinion, Bill Cartwright, and gave him a ring. He took him from the Knicks to give him a ring. He was slapping people at the practices. He was a champion. He was a champion's champion. His mindset. He set the bar, which Kobe went after. So
which I'm gonna play a little devil advocate with it though for a second. This is what that comment you meant that he talked about branding. I don't think Jordan necessarily taught them about branding. I think he led by example.
Yeah.
Or he was an example of what branding can do. I'm not going to give him that. I mean, he's on my list, but I'm not going to give him that much credit.
That's
he don't
teaching, though. I mean, you always hear people say I don't think he did.
But I don't think he did it intentionally, though. I just think he just did his thing, and it's just that he made such a powerful impact and movement that it was just obvious on what you need to do. And we use his accomplishments to create motivation for other people. Like, the whole story about he really didn't get cut from the basketball team, but we took it and ran with it.
Well, I just know this. The man made so much money, and his wife left. She left with hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh my God.
He still got paper.
And when I was single, I was looking for it too.
That's a lot of.
But I'm just saying he left. I agree with y'all about being an icon and everything. I'm just saying that I felt like, and you're right. I think he just did it. It happened organically. How about that? Did that sound better? It happened organically. I don't think it was necessarily like something that he may have his select people like those Kobe's and so forth. He may holler at and really talk to, but just from that docuseries on ESPN, I don't see him being a whole lot of like really let me school y'all. He's more like you just see what I'm doing. And
he wasn't a nice guy. To be the level he was at, he couldn't be a nice guy.
Couldn't be nice.
The majority of these people who get to these levels, it's a rarity that you run into it. They're not. I mean, because in order to be a Tom Brady, and he's not on my list, you got to be what you got to be. You just got to just crush and dominate.
You gotta be
But
solo. Yeah.
but I'll move on. My next on my list is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he brought excitement to boxing to me.
Yeah.
It was always boxing's always exciting, but him being that young, knocking grown men out and just doing his thing, coming out with no robe, no socks,
Hip
just black
hop.
trunks. You know, he was
Killing
just killing it.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, so Mike Tyson's on my list. Pele, one of my sons, well, a couple of
Yeah.
my kids, they like soccer, and Pele was groundbreaking. Being of his descent and doing the thing he's doing, because what you got to realize, soccer, or as they call it, football, out of the country is huge. You can get killed being in the wrong stadium, wearing the wrong shirt,
Yeah.
or going for the
Right.
wrong team. But he brought love for the game universally to the game. A lot of people started following because of Pele.
The trick plays, man. I mean,
Man, he was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he got a great documentary on Netflix, but I'm
Yeah.
being lazy right now. I don't feel like reading no subtitles, man. So
Well, I tell you what. Now, talking about documentaries, I'm glad you said it. My next on my list, Jesse Owens. Now, Jesse Owens,
wow, that's a
man.
good one.
Yeah,
Wow.
Jesse Owens, man. He took it to Hitler. You know, he
Yeah.
showed.
Yeah.
They wanted to kill that man because of his athleticism, and he
Yeah.
ran, and he ran, and he beat him left and right with class and style. Dorian Haywood, I think the documentary, not a documentary, but it was a movie, a docu-series, I believe. Dorian Haywood, I believe his name is Harewood. He was the actor for Jesse Owens for that movie. Look that up. That was a
Yeah.
great
You
series,
know,
man.
you made me think of something, and this could be definitely another show topic, but I think that can probably be good to discuss. Is that unfortunately, a lot of those groundbreaking icons, it seems like I don't know if it's just me. It seems like they always get thrown under the buses, like being told they were sellouts or they were,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
from our own people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear people say, "Oh, it really, it's more people better." They more focus on I was better than Jesse. I was better instead, or even Jackie Robinson and things of that nature. Unfortunately, with other track runners and other athletes that got overlooked, but sometimes we have a tendency to I don't know if it's just the whole crab mentality sometimes we can have in a community, but
Can't do
Well,
nothing right, man.
when you
Yeah.
groundbreaking, people fear that. People really follow what's popular, and you groundbreaking. You're doing things outside the norm. If you're not cow tying, you're not, stepping back instead of following other people's lead, and you taking the lead. People, they push against that. What people don't know, they fear, and they pushed
yeah.
against it.
Yeah, I just got called a sellout. I just got called a sellout, not recently, but we'll say that for another time to tell you about it.
Oh,
So
we got
I called my mom and told her, "Mom, I made it. I got called a sellout.
You truly made it.
I made it.
But somebody else you had mentioned in your comments, Jackie Robinson was the last on my list. Jackie Robinson, he went through everything under the sun. Chadwick Boseman, Boseman did a great job representing him in the movie
On
42.
all of them, he had
Yeah,
some great icons he
yeah.
portrayed. Yeah,
Jackie Robinson, that was one of the dudes that you know he played. Like I said, when you're great, when you play without holding back, and somebody can kill you at each game.
yeah.
They like, this Negro here, he's coming from state to state. We can't sleep in our hotel because of this guy. This, that, and the third is because of this guy. His own teammates didn't want to be there till they start winning.
Yeah.
You can't knock winning. If you in
Right.
sports, you got to go ahead and bow down to the fact we're winning, no matter what the color that person is. And because of that barrier being broken, Jackie Robinson was definitely a trailblazer.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess I'll jump at it. I'll jump in. And matter of fact, now you made me think about Chadwick Boseman. I think Boseman, right? Chadwick Boseman, right? I think he needed to be an honorable mention, actually.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Because especially with the body of work that he left behind, definitely should have been one of my other additional honorable mentions there. So athlete for me, number one is LeBron James, man.
Okay.
LeBron James not number one. He's the first one on my list here, but
he's number one. You just say he's number one on your list. Don't try to back.
I love his power moves he made, man. I love his power moves that he has
big
made.
Man to do that stuff.
Yeah, it's power moves that he made, and he did it for just a high school education. And I like the way he has kept his nose clean for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, all of the things he do off the court that is known and even unknown. I mean, I think he's a rare one. Like you were saying about, you know, certain artists, like we were saying about DMX and things like that, how there's certain people are just rare ones that God make, you know what I'm saying? And he's just rare from physically on the court and even off the court. And I just think he has done thus far a great job at balancing the two.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just super proud of him and all the things he has accomplished and still continue to accomplish. So you just need to go ahead and get rid of that hair, or shave his head off, start cutting with them hair pieces. But so, of course, Jordan, you know, game changer. He brought the swag to the game. You know, he is. I mean, even though I know the game is changing and it's evolving again, but I think he really made a major impact to even players to this day is still in some form or fashion mimicking Jordan. I mean, Jordan's just it is.
All right.
Well,
Well, since you brought him up,
he used to give out Knicks to fit though, but you know,
who's better, Jordan or LeBron? That we'll make that very quick. Who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
I say Jordan. LeBron hurt him. LeBron even, I mean, no disrespect to him, but he kind of hurt the NBA with now everybody's doing that. And it's just like, man, I mean, the changing teams and, but I could say LeBron is a different type of player. LeBron is more of a team player.
Yeah.
But
Jordan's better than me.
Yeah,
I say Jordan's better.
Only
because Jordan's better because, like, you know, both of y'all were saying the killer instinct. I think that was something I had an issue with LeBron for a while earlier.
Yeah, he used to just fall asleep in games, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I put him, even though he's in the athlete category, I actually really do like LeBron more off the court.
Definitely.
On the court.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I respect that he's definitely a phenom. He's, you know, definitely that. But I've grown to admire him and everything just from his off the court stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like on the court, like you said, all day, you know, he can't see, you know, Jordan crush him all day. My next one's Kobe. I think Kobe was a true moment. He was another one that I grew to as I matured and as I guess as they matured as well. Seeing them growing up, I was joking. Say I like the 24 Kobe versus the number 8 Kobe, but you know, but I think he's truly he really chose a perfect you know, symbol with the whole Mamba. I think, you know, he's silent but, you know, but deadly on the court and even off the court. I mean, there were some things that I had a tough time putting them on because there's some other great athletes that paved the way to, you know, sports that we know today, and there were some others that could have been on the list, but I think about some of the things he was already kind of working on that was so to the left of what the norm that you hear, you know, athletes or whatever getting into other business ventures with him doing books and, you know, doing his own publishing. I just thought and I know there's other athletes that I don't know that's probably doing some of the same things, but I just thought that he was doing a lot of really interesting, you know, because, you know, I love business. So he was making a lot of interesting business moves that I thought was just a little out of the norm than you would expect from an athlete. So I thought he was extremely intelligent. So I just thought the Mamba was a great example by being silent, you know, that by the snake being silent but deadly. You know what I'm saying? Shaq. I put Shaq on my list, man. He's hilarious, but I call him our generation George Foreman, man. I mean, he's the ultimate hustler. He's the ultimate hustler.
Shaq is the very first celeb that I met.
I
met him down in Orlando when I was in the Navy in boot camp. That's the very first. I met him by the mall that was down there, and I had a guy with me. He was like, "Hey, you play basketball?" I said, "Shaq, man." That was like his first year.
Yeah.
So I met. That's the first. I met a lot of celebs now. I mean, my age, but that's like the. Well, I won't say a lot.
Yeah.
I'll say about a good 7, but
Yeah, Big Mike's in the building. You
Big
know,
Mike been around the world.
everybody. You know,
Come on,
been
man.
around the world. You know
That's the
everybody.
first one I met, though.
Yeah, you know everybody.
He trying to be humble on y'all right there.
Yeah, I had beer with Rihanna.
Matter of fact, Big
Shoot,
Mike.
I wish I did meet Rihanna.
Matter of fact, Big Mike is on all my categories right now. Number one, you know what I'm saying? But no, I think I heard the same thing. I just heard he was from some reliable sources, man. I heard he was just good people. He's really always, warming and welcoming and whatever. But I call him like I say our generation, meaning like, even though George Foreman kind of still a little bit before us and still our generation, but I say our generation, George Foreman, from the standpoint of like his, again, after retirement, business moves. One moment we seen him with the general, another moment we seen him driving a car, another moment he's doing whatever, got his own grills. He's doing this, his hustle is, kind of like Samuel Jackson. I mean, he stays on the grind. And I really like the way he transitioned, off the court. And I think, I think a lot of athletes are doing better at that now too. But that's a whole nother conversation about a lot of them trying to make that transition off. And then this is kind of combined together, man. Throw to some ladies in the building. Serena Venus Williams, man.
Yeah.
Serena Venus Williams, it was a game changer.
That's a hard sport, man.
Yeah.
I don't care if you male or female.
How many sets they got to play? How many games?
Mm-hmm. Their age, the challenges they had to face from their skin, the belief was also challenged. It was just all of the dad, everything. So just the obstacles that they had to face and to do it with so much stride and they actually took on the challenge, you know what I'm saying, and embraced it and was never moved by it. And I find that their moves are very powerful, so I really admire them as well. So it's kind of hard to say one. Of course, we know Serena be crushing it, but it's not fair. Not to me, it don't seem like you can't.
But believe it or not, Venus has always had Serena's number. Sometimes, She actually,
well, they know each other, right? But I always think about that video of the dad in the over in Compton or whatever.
Yeah, showing them,
showing them moves. I think about that to where they are now, So I just really admire, their moves. And when I say one, you got to say the other. Then my honorable mention was Ali, but then you made me think about my boy Tyson, though. So.
You gotta put Ali in there. Because of Ali, there's a Tyson.
There was a Tyson.
Yeah.
Big Mike, what you got?
All right, my number one, I got Jordan, like everybody else. He just, just the branding. You just see that symbol of him having the ball with the legs spread apart. You know what that is. So I got.
I was hating too on the way before we get to start this episode tonight because I was just while I was looking on Netflix, just so happened they want to pull up. Bringing back what's that? The last series he did. What's the Last Dance? That one be popped up like recommended. I was like, yo, I'm not putting them on my. I was about to put them on my list just because of that. This guy's ridiculous, man.
Number two, I got LeBron. Just to be able to. You don't hear about no scandals. I think his mom did an excellent job of raising him, man, and to come into that.
Wow.
To come into that.
You're right.
To come into that money. And that fame, even in high school, and to be able to, stay humble, I have to give him props. Number three, I got Tiger Woods. I can't say I agree with everything he said, off the golf course, calibration, but as for he actually had me watching a golf game one time.
Right.
Yeah.
I never cared for golf. It used to always put me to sleep, man. But watching his highlights and rooting for him.
He got me to playing too. I ain't gonna front. Yeah.
Number four, I got Jackie Robinson. Man, all the stuff he went through, and some of us complain on our jobs or complaining, or whatever we do or profession that we're in. And man, to go through what he went through is just because he got a lot of hate from blacks too.
Right. And just to stop you on that, Mike, when you said, let's say we can complain at work, Jackie Robinson couldn't go to human research and complain. See, we can get paid off for something like that. Me and you, us three right now, we can say, oh, he said what? Document it, take it somewhere, sue, get some paper. Jackie Robinson, if he says something, they get him off a team or or just bash him.
Yes,
You know,
yes. And number 5, I got Muhammad Ali. I mean, the way he talked back
and back it
then,
up.
man, is like, I mean, like in the news, there's been a lot about the Asian hate, and I don't know why they've been putting African Americans' face on that, but he was one of the few that spoke up and was like, they ain't never did nothing to me, when they went,
right.
Right.
and just to speak to what he was speaking, man. I mean, sometimes now I'll be like, knows, man, you ain't had to go there, but I mean, I will always, the image I will always think about is when he was suffering from the Parkinson, but it was one of the Olympics, and he still got that thing lit. So that's all I got, man. I mean, I agree. I agree with what everybody said, though. I mean,
yeah. Something that you said too, El, to Mike, when you were saying about Mike, I'm fault, Mike. You was Big Mike. You was talking about the LeBron, about the single moms. Definitely, like, for him coming out of a single parent, household. On top of that, to, like you said, to achieve all that he has done, like you said, take the hat off to his mom for holding him down. So
man, I wouldn't have been able to handle money at that age, man.
That's why I say he's a rare one, man.
I see how people act once they get their taxes, or see how they acting with these stimulus, man. Imagine,
I know what I mean? I know I was. I mean, I didn't make probably not even a fraction to what he was making. I know I was a fool when that age, and I had a bunch of money.
Man,
I was all over the place.
First thing I was thinking about, let me get this hotel room
wide open.
You know what I'm saying? And
two motorcycles, Jeeps, dog, everything. I was all over the place.
Drinking the bar up.
Bar out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man.
All right, cool. So now we're gonna switch over. So speaking of athletes, this is perfect time. I always say athletes want to be rappers and rappers want to be athletes. So that may be a good transition over to rappers. Now this one may be a little sticky here, about rappers. Now we're gonna stay away from an order here, or we're going to just...
No, it's hard to do. I really got about 10, but I just did the best I can with 5, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all going to say somebody that I'm going to be like, dang, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wait to hear this one. Y'all want me to set it off, or y'all want...
Yeah, you go first.
You can go first this time.
All right. So, of course, got to put a number... Now, this is the only one I am going to put number 1, but it's Biggie. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
All day, every day, Biggie. The swag, big. Everybody know the line, big, black, ugly as hell. However, just for his flavor, his flow. I just thought that unfortunately he was cut down too soon. His documentary though, and I know we ain't getting no credits from Netflix, but I'm giving them some back-to-back shout-outs right now. But he has they got that recent documentary did on him was really interesting, just to kind of dive in a little more of his more musical background exposure than what we normally don't hear. Yeah, that we don't really know. So that was really interesting to see. I mean, I always heard he was smart and all that stuff, but I didn't know he had as much, and he was influenced by music more than what he was, if that's
right. That jazz mentor,
jazz mentor and everything. I was like, wow, like that was really deep to see that, and then it make, and actually, and there's some other great documentaries in it, obviously, but it kind of really made sense to me a little bit better of his journey, and really, to me, it was an example why he was cut down too short, because you got a chance to really see what he was really strategically and planned. I thought he did a good job with that. That you kind of saw a little bit of his vision of where he wanted to go. And but anyway, yeah, the Biggie, KRS-One, man. KRS-One, man. Lyrics, man. This guy still got lyrics to this day, man. I mean, and I remember watching I forgot who were interviewing, how he said, I don't know if he probably, I know I might have saw this interview maybe 10 plus years ago, but I remember him saying that he would make a diss song to every hot rapper every year, just in case he had to battle. I said, man, that ain't old school thinking. And I remember the person that was interviewing was like, yo, you got 20 plus years, you still doing that? Yeah. I don't care who it is, just because they come for me. Like, nobody even think about you no more, bro. But, you're a legend, you're an icon, you're the godfather, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but lyrically, though, he's one of the ones that I will put in. If I put his music in, he'd make you like, oh, like, yo, he's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the bars, man, and he'll spit from little small club to arena, So he's just, an international. So I just I like Karis One. Jay-Z, flow. I think he was a game changer as well. Carried on Biggie. He picked up the torch, ran with it. In the moves he made, but his flow. I also still live back El Boogie. I don't know if you remember that time when we saw him in the little club down, the little hole in the wall down in the country.
Jay. Yeah, and the power went out.
And the power went out.
Yeah,
and
he was with Foxy Brown.
He was with Foxy Brown. Couldn't get it right. But I'm talking about this is the Jay when they was in the caravan. No, they was in the caravan piling up. They was in the van piled up. They
because he spit 22 twos. I remember
22 twos. No music.
Right. He said without the power.
Without the power.
He did that and Burn wrote up.
And did a freestyle.
Right.
And I promise you, when he did what was so powerful about not only did he do a freestyle, still grinded out with no power because he had to get that paper anyway. Mm-hmm. But what was impressive to me was that how you could still hear the music in his voice when he was rapping.
Right.
And that was one of the first times that I can say that I heard a rapper, because when somebody sing, you can almost hear the song in their melody as they sing. And that was one of the first rappers that I could say I heard a cappella that I actually heard the music while he was rapping. That was just like, that was just dope to me. Nas, another lyrical beast. I have got Rakim, just an icon.
Okay.
He's the first rapper to scare me. Like, this cat's for real. You know what I'm saying? This cat will kill you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought he changed the game. He's definitely he was like I feel like he definitely represented our generation that's coming in. Like, he was that whole transitioning from the old to new, And
he still get respect. I mean, everybody.
He's like the Jordan, man.
Yeah.
The Jordan, man. I mean, he just made that big of an impact. Now, his body of work to me ain't all that, but
he has things
that just his whole presentation, the flows that he did do is just that's kind of impact that he made. My honorable mention was Black Thought, man.
No doubt.
Black Thought. Just lyrically, he's just nasty when it comes to freestyles, and then of course that 10-minute freestyle he did on Funk Master
Flex.
Yeah.
With a fedora on.
It was so many other rappers, though I could go on for days, but I think he's also one of the ones that get kind of overlooked as well. There's another one out there they did with Sway No More with him and Method Man. They both crushed it.
Yeah, I remember that. And Method Man's going off the phone.
Yeah, Method Man he was killing it too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Thought. That's me.
Who you got, Mike?
I have Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, you know what? Delete him. Get him off. He's no longer associated.
Show's over. Yo, my name is Alexander.
I'm El Boogie. This cat here.
But now it's funny you said that, though. I actually had him. I always thought about him as an honorable mention for an actor, though. I just saw a movie with him today that was pretty all right. What was that?
He's
movie?
Good actor.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor.
Mark Wahlberg, good actor.
But man, there's so many nice rappers, man. But I'm just gonna name some that went through my head. I got Big Daddy Kane. His flows was back then just ridiculous.
Right.
Good showmanship. I got Jay-Z. I seen Jay-Z.
He was better than Rakim. I'm sorry. They had. I know it's always a battle about.
I think so better. Too. But a lot of people, But I got Jay. I saw him at Norfolk State Homecoming. He was with Foxy, and they killed it, man. And I'm not too much of a fan of his recent work. It's kind of got out there. I mean that. But that Gutter Jay, I put him up against the first two album Jays. I put him up against anybody, man. The mixtape Jay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nas.
He's Picasso Jay now.
Right.
Yeah. Art Gallery Jay, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
I got Nas.
Okay.
He just crazy, man. Biggie. I mean, Biggie for the memories, man. I mean, that after the club, that that T-bone steak, and I was actually doing that. So
Biggie definitely was speaking out, was our background music. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, he was the theme music for us. Like, they said, "Oh, I'm gonna get you sucker." You gotta have a theme music.
Yeah, that was.
They was our theme music all day. Like the whole, you get your friends, get with my friends, we could all be friends. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Now I'll leave it there. I'm guilty by association all day.
He is actually the first. When I think about really getting hated on, and man, Bad Boy was getting hated on for real, man. I mean, he seemed like a cool guy, man. I know people that know some people was around him. They was kind of thorough, but And 5, I got Big L. I'm not saying that just because he passed away, but he was real nice on that mic. But I can go on, man. I mean, I love KRS. That would be one of my top people I would love to meet and chop it up with, and where I can. But those are the top 5 that I have. So, what you got, L Book?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. This is
I've been. There he go.
There you go. Saying, well, we all got one thing in common. I'm gonna say in order.
Up,
just the one person in order would be Biggie. That's the one thing we all had in common. So Biggie's no doubt. He's not only on my top 5 list. He's number 1 of my top 5 list. Yeah, so Biggie is one. Next on my list, I got Jadakiss. Yeah, he's just a monster, because when I think of MCs, I think of somebody make me want to sit down and rewind it, back to mixtapes. So what did you say? No, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I quote a lot of Jada verses.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that hits, it hits me kind of hard when it comes to, MCs.
And then you can't say Jada without saying Styles P. And
right. The Locks. But he stood out. Obviously, he stood out as a single artist.
To some. Single artist,
On my list also, I got Eminem. Now, as far as his catalog, he was kind of up and down. He started off with the kind of the funny stuff, but the guy is a monster. When I'm talking about freestyling, man, the guy goes into a zone. Like, you can just go on YouTube, watch countless freestyles of this dude, and the guy could just rap 20, 30 minutes, man, just going off the top of his head. That's just phenomenal.
He inspired. He actually inspired a lot, especially a lot of white rappers too. A lot of the kids out of the white kids out of the gutter. Some of the white kids coming from low income housing. And
exactly,
stuff like
and to be obviously as the Black community, we always don't want no other nationality coming and taking over what we perfected, I should say. But he's got that respect as a rapper. He's got that respect as an MC. When you put him on a cypher on BET, come on now. And he's like one of the best. He has his own little cypher. He brings his own little group in there, and they do his thing. But he's a monster.
He's the third base on steroids, man.
Yeah, man. He's yeah. Third base was they were whack, but
and Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys was solid. They put their foot in the door, but Eminem took it and ran with it. So
I gotta say third base was whack, yo. Stepping to the end was
man,
the choice, man.
You get the gas face, brother.
I think they had some. I think they had some hits though. I like Words of Wisdom. It was dope, man.
It was.
I just played some the other night. I was telling Alice, I said, "Yo, look, these were one of the first ones right
here."
But
I like Pete though. I ain't too much care for Search, man. Search tried too hard for me. Pete,
I thought Pete was trying too hard for me, man.
That dude with the little cane? Nah, he was whack.
Yeah, he was whack, man.
Pete was smooth, man.
He was whack, man.
He was whack. He like
he's a Brooklyn Queens a gold digger.
I ain't like that.
It's about how you living, huh? I said,
all right, who else we got here? All right, and then I got Black Thought. That was the same thing as Keith had pointed out. Black Thought's a monster, man. He like you were saying, hearing the melody along with the wordplay, you can hear the music even when he's doing acapella. Black Thought is a monster, man. He's also a monster, man. That guy, I've seen him do things, and and write things, and he'll know other people's music and perform it. You know, the guy, I give so much respect to the fact that you can memorize not only words that you wrote, but you know, obviously we all know hit songs or whatnot, but he's a true hip hop icon in regards to this guy has catalogs of stuff in his brain. He's ready for action at all times. You know, so all you gotta do is drop a beat and he can go for it. But you know, he has been a phenomenal, consistent for decades. He's been a top MC. You know, Black Thought has always been somebody I give much respect to.
Yeah,
And
you know, and don't sleep because he doing what's that Tonight Show?
Yeah,
Jimmy Fallon show every night, spitting every night,
spitting every night. And sometimes, you know, just top of the head and it's just phenomenal, man, phenomenal. And I think somebody we all overlook, Busta Rhymes.
Ooh,
you know, because Busta,
Busta,
like
Busta's monster.
You know, like if you go on the show, like no one wants to perform behind Busta.
Yeah, Busta.
Like there is no performance behind Busta. Busta is the closer. Busta will go ahead and show. I seen something on Bill Bellamy was telling us some stories how he had did a show. No, he had a basketball all-star thing back in the 90s. And at halftime, they had a halftime show. It was Coolio and Busta Rhymes and maybe some other people. But Coolio had the audacity to say he wanted to go after Busta Rhymes. And it was like, you need to go ahead and go. It's because you got Gangsta Paradise. You need to go ahead and just go ahead and do it.
You need more than Gangsta Paradise.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. They said that Busta came out there and ripped it, the woo-ha, and all the rest of the stuff, and he got the crowd so hyped and wore out. By the time Coolio came out, people were leaving. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like this dude, when they were saying, you know, they have the MCs, then they have them God MCs, this dude commands your attention when he hits the stage, and he gets that. Because
he got a great grind, great story too, man.
He got a great story, great grind. The guy, him and Spliff Star, he's another one that goes hand in hand with Busta. Busta and Spliff Star go kind of hand in hand. If you watch their performances, those guys are really phenomenal, man. Really phenomenal.
Yeah. Like Tretch and Vinny.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Naughty by Nature.
Yeah, definitely. But honestly, my honorable mention that we always just noticed all three of us didn't include, but we know we're gonna have to is DMX. You know, DMX was one of one. So I can't even put him in the top 5 of 5 because he's one of one. So this guy is like, you know, we had mentioned before the show, there's certain people that stand out. But this is just one of them things that we got to recognize that he stands out and he's the one. You know, we probably have 1,000,001 stories about DMX and what he did. Well, we had the music we grew up on and the lyrics and things of that nature. But I definitely say he's an honorable mention for all of us. I was just speaking for us to say, yo, DMX is always going to be on our list.
I respect X because he came in at a time where the music was kind of shifting. There wasn't nobody really hardcore out. And he was like, you know, because Bad Boy was killing it, man. They had it on lock. And he said, I'm going to go gutter. But, you know, we'll touch on him a little bit, you know, some more.
No doubt. Yeah, and definitely, he definitely made the impact. One last thing I did want to say about Black Thought, though, El Boogie talked about was I just recently saw him on NPR's Tiny Desk. He did a live at home performance, and I didn't even realize he was doing Broadway, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
COVID.
He was inside of a little chair, sitting on a chair. Yeah.
And just to show his range, I was so impressed to see his range in music that I keep, you know, forgetting about him. That how, you know, this guy from Philly to Broadway, you know. So that's definitely
man. He killed that Big Daddy Kane tribute, though, man. Yo, and all the listeners out there, just Google Big Daddy Kane VH1 Hip Hop Honors, and when Black Thought's part, he killed it, man.
He did rip that.
He killed it.
Along with that, go click on over to that NPR Tiny Desk Black Thought.
Yeah, I did definitely see. I know what you're talking about too.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and start wrapping things up. Our last two, we got moguls. All right, moguls. We're gonna jump out there, Big Mike. So we're gonna pass the mic around. Big Mike, what you got?
This is kind of a combo. I got I got the Obamas. They represented the black family that was so much in need, man. I mean, man, we get a lot of flack, man, and it's publicized, and I think they helped with that. Two, I don't agree with everything he says, but I mean, there's a lot that he says that I do love, and I give Farrakhan,
Okay.
It was Farrakhan. Three, I mean, same thing. These people I'm naming, I might not be a big fan of a lot of their work, but I have to give them I give them their props when their props is due. I mean, I got Tyler Perry. I mean, man, he's.
Oh God.
I mean, his studio. How many people he's put to work?
Yeah, you can't knock that.
Yeah, man, he's put a lot of people in work, man. You'll be like, hold on, what happened? Dang, I hadn't seen no boy in a minute, and he'll pop up in the Tyler Perry. I would like him to step up his game on his production, man. I mean, I would like him to step that up and the effects and stuff like that.
I like him to go ahead and get his daddy issues taken care of too.
Man, because Perry ain't even his last name. He just don't want to use his father. I heard something like he just don't want to use his pop's last name, allegedly. But
allegedly,
But
and allegedly, he throws a brother under the bus. I'm sorry, I had to get that out there. I'll leave it alone.
Well, us dark skinned brothers under the bus. Y'all, people like Bug, you all right. But
yeah, you all right.
I mean, Alexander, we got issues, man. We got some issues.
Man.
That's why shout out to New Jack City. It brought the dark skinned brothers,
Brought them back. Wesley, honorable mention just for that, Wesley. Honorable mention, Wesley.
Yes. Before I got Bill Gates, I mean, man, should be illegal what he doing. That man is he's killing it, man. Don't shut us down, Bill. I'm just joking, bro. And I got
say killing in a good way,
And I got Steve Jobs. His vision, man, his vision, man. I mean, he wasn't even like the main developer, man, but he brought. I advise anybody to just check out his. Check out the documentary on him, man. He was a real driven cat, but he knew how to put a team together and get the best out of them. So I have to give him his props, and those are my top 5. I could have named so many, but I mean,
right.
Who's up next?
I guess I jump out there. For me, I'm always from an entrepreneur perspective. So, but my first one's Oprah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oprah, just from her grind, from local TV to Hollywood, man. It's just amazing, man. And from TV to acting. I mean, it's just. And then away from the cameras and the things that she does, and Stedman need to tighten up, but I guess it's good.
She
ain't well, he done had her for like, man.
They
for decades, man.
He doing something right, man.
That's a whole nother show by itself on them two right there. That's really going on. But I mean, yeah. But I heard she take care of him and he take care of her.
I think he under contract.
You don't want to get canceled. Speaking of New Jack City, will get canceled. But Jay-Z, I give Jay-Z. I don't, regardless of, I may have some little personal feelings on certain things, on some of his power moves that he made, but I can't, in reference to like the whole nets and all that stuff in the community getting affected. But I like his transition from seeing him in the hole in the wall, come out the van. He was always already a street legend back when, growing up in New York, you always heard his name making waves around the city. But, just to see from the waves to seeing from the hole in the wall to where he's at now, I mean, he's definitely the culture. That is, I think he's our Russell Simmons and more. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's
our Warren Buffett.
Man, that's one guy I should have put on. Man, he's Russell
like,
did his thing, man.
Yeah, he's like Russell on steroids, man. He's the culture. It took me a minute, to the whole hair thing, but I got to realize he's bigger than that now. He can do whatever
He don't
he
care.
want to do. Really, he
He
can do
don't
what he
care.
want to do. But they say he's doing it because he represents the culture, and I get it. With that being said, in the same breath, Warren Buffett, I think Jay-Z also seems like he's also been a good listener. He put himself around the right people. It looked like at least from, of course, the way things portrayed in the media and what we see, he did a lot of shadowing Warren Buffett, and he did a lot of listening. He listened
Warren
well.
was my honorable.
Yeah, Warren Buffett, just his influence, his willingness to share, I think is just powerful. Sharing his knowledge. Bill Gates / Steve Jobs. We maybe think I can't seem like you can't say one without the other.
Yeah,
and then Clyde Davis, man. I thought about when it comes to
Okay.
music, and just recently saw a documentary on him.
yeah,
just,
man.
He's
his
still alive?
journey.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
man.
Okay.
Clyde's still alive, yeah. And so yeah. Yep, that's my 5. L Book.
Well, I might as well just read my list because you must have tapped my phone. You got 3 of mine. So you got 3 of mine. So Jay-Z was on my list. Is on my list. Obviously for all the things he's done, from Tidal to Ace of Spades, music, fashion, a little bit of everything, And then he's also, you guys stop and think about it, he's also got a lot of art he's been putting money and time into investing, and that's interesting, because of the fact that, we don't think of art as financially securing anything. It is, because that's the things that appreciates, not depreciates, depending on what type of art it is. So I can definitely give respect to that. So I think that's really a big move.
He made those Kobe moves, the kind I was talking about earlier, like those Kobe moves.
Calculated.
And I got to give it to him. He, regardless if we like it or not, he said the music is not, we may feel it's not the same Jay in the day, but I mean, now he is giving knowledge though. He's dropping jewels, and he's dropping jewels in his music. I got to give it to him. He's sharing the knowledge.
He is. Warren Buffett was on my list. I think that he's just like a necessity when you talk about moguls. This guy is just somebody sitting in it. You know what is money in the building when somebody's quiet. I always thought of, and I always in my mindset is this: if you're that important, I know you're coming before you get there. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So if you come in,
bro.
If you come in hooping and hollering, yo, you know who I am? Obviously, nobody does. If I knew you was coming, they would have told me about you.
That's
people
real,
like
man.
that. It's his name alone, and he's respected. He's making money. He's another person who shares the wealth of knowledge to those who are listening. Jay-Z was one of them. When you get to that level, that's good to see. Somebody's getting my money on the regular. Jeff Bezos, for Amazon. This guy, everybody comes. You got a box on your doorstep.
Man.
Now you guys.
I've been using them so much, man. From the
I saw a UPS truck. I mean, they took a the same size like a UPS truck. Amazon. I was like, yo,
they ridiculous. Now think about it. Who was making the most money during the pandemic? Amazon.
Amazon and what they say, Zoom.
And they got the Amazon Fresh now, and just killing the game,
crazy.
Man. You order your groceries, man, and it's
like I bought a fraction on top of a fraction stock on Amazon. It's like you bought a fraction. I was so guilty. I had to buy a little fraction.
Get a couple put in your pocket. Nigga,
listeners, invest your money, listeners. Wherever you spending your money at, you need to invest in.
Yeah, that's gonna be another show topic. We definitely will get on that. But Jeff Bezos was definitely one of them. Another person we had in common was Oprah. Definitely Oprah. The same things you were saying. You stop and think about it. If you can be the only person on the front of your own magazine each month, that's crazy. She don't have nobody else on the front of the magazine but her.
I didn't think about that.
You gotta stop and think about that. So another female told me about that and said, "You just know that she's the only person on the magazine." I said, "I didn't notice that." You be in the grocery store looking at it. I said, "For real?" I didn't notice that.
I didn't even think about that.
She's the only person on the front of her own magazine. So Oprah is a power player. She's a mogul. She's respected. And lastly, I got on Elon Musk. Tesla.
I thought about him too.
SpaceX. This guy's gonna be. He's giving rides to the moon.
I thought about him.
You gotta stop and think about that, man. This guy's he's doing Uber rides to the moon. This guy's off the chain, man. Off the chain.
He got my kids. They talking about, yo, Daddy gonna get the car with the TVs in the front. And I'm like, that's all they think of when they see Tesla. TVs,
the gold wings, amazing. Yeah, so these guys just trendsetters. That's my list.
All right, so we're gonna just wrap this thing up with the social media icons. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know, I know y'all didn't want to believe me when we talked about it. We was prepping for this episode. I really don't have no social media icons that I follow personally.
A lot of mine, y'all not gonna know who mine are.
Yeah, I don't.
You might though. You might.
But I did put one or two people just because, you know, I try to think of something. And Obama, he was one of the original social media influencers when he was running for president, and then Malcolm X.
Said Malcolm X. The heck? You get a 0 on the test.
I've been saying I couldn't think of. But no, actually, I take that back because I had the title wrong. I was doing it from an influencer standpoint.
Okay.
So I was just making it just for jokes, you know.
But,
But really, the only one I could think was Obama. Really, be honest with you, social media icons, seriously, for me, is pretty much all of the ones I listed from the other top 4.
Gotcha.
Those are the people I follow. So, yeah.
Who you got, Mike?
I got my number 1. I got Tariq Nasheed. He's the creator of the Hidden Colors series. If y'all ever checked that out, you should.
The Hidden Colors series? Okay.
Yeah, he's just Google him, man. He's a beast, man.
I'm learning something along with the listeners myself.
Okay.
So.
Number 2 is a guy named Black Dot. He has a podcast called Urban X that he does with his son. They talk about a lot of issues. Number 3, y'all probably heard of this one, Dr. Boyce Watkins. He gives a lot of financial advice. He talks about whatever issue that's going on within the community. Y'all gonna laugh at my next 2 though. I say these 2 for last. My boy Derek Jackson.
Oh Lord!
You can say what you want. That dude was everywhere. He was everywhere.
Well, he's on the only reason I know him just because, you know, all the
but he was him and Cameron was getting into it yesterday on Twitter because Derek Jackson popped up and said a little bit of tribute about DMX, and Cameron jumped in like, yo, I know him, and he said, I know him and you don't know him, so now you want to pop up, you've been signed all this time because you got caught cheating. And Derek Jackson was like, yo, man, you really taking it serious? He's like, yeah, because when me and my girl broke up, you had a little something small thing to say. And he was like, but we just broke up. I didn't get caught cheating like you. I was like, these dudes.
Cameron, I just saw Cameron on I just watched the one he did with
the Drink Champs.
He been about his business, ain't he?
That was hilarious. When he said, I ain't trust you either. No.
Well, on his own joint.
I ain't trust you, and I ain't drinking, and I don't trust you.
Yeah, he didn't drink. He didn't even drink. He was drinking water. He didn't even drink
the whole time.
But he did drive up on his set too. He drove up to the joint.
Yeah. Oh wow! My last one is your boy, our boy, Donald Trump.
Oh boy!
This guy. Good night, y'all. I'm Alexander.
I'm Bill Boogie.
That fool had a tweet every week saying something ridiculous, man. I mean, I'm like, you're a president, man. Why are you making all these tweets, man? I'm like, but he was a big media presence.
I in a weird way, listeners, please don't turn after I say this, but I do kind of miss some of his antics.
I miss his craziness, but
that's what I'm saying. Not him in the office, but just his craziness, the jokes and comments.
But that's all I had.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yo, man, you got to throw that comedy in, man. You can't be.
You're a funny dude, man. Don't say your boy, my boy. That ain't my boy.
That ain't my boy.
That ain't my boy, man.
He's hilarious.
Your boy, our boy.
Well, see, now I got.
He tried to get us shut down, man.
So I have kids. and a lot of kids. So my influence is kind of like what the kids watch, and they go, Dad, you should know this, and know this person, see this person." So I think it's influential. Is Cardi B? She's a big icon right now.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She's big. Between the girls following her attitude and her grind and all, I give respect to. I give her props.
Her Instagram's on smash, man.
Yeah, from doing what she did to doing what she's doing now, I really hope that she can shake off that foolishness with her husband at the house. I ain't no hater, but that's on them.
I love Cardi, man. Now, I don't like how she was drugging dudes, but as for and this is from her mouth now, not allegedly. This is what she said, but as like her attitude and. Man, the girl is actually smart, man.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing. Cardi B, she's doing her thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow her, so.
I don't follow her myself
now.
Nah.
No, I'm talking about. I don't follow her on social media.
Yeah, but I know what kind of influence she has on social media.
Right.
Now, my boy, I don't know if y'all follow this guy, but somebody who's I do follow CT Fletcher. This guy is hilarious.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, CT Fletcher is inspirational. He's a motivator. He's the Superman of Compton. Shout out to him.
This is your mother effing set.
Yeah, he just got a new heart. He had a heart replacement. He's still out there doing this thing. He's still motivating people to work out and stuff like that. He's won all kind of championships. He's a beast. When he sit there and he yells at his arm, "I command you to grow." That's why I do 10 more push-ups. Because of my man CT Fletcher. Yeah, that's my man right there. Somebody who just not burst on the scene, but took over since last year. D Nice is taking over the social media because of what he did to the club quarantine during pandemic.
Yo, man, he kept it going, man. He kept it going, man.
I like the way the world has embraced him. Yeah, the world has embraced them. Got commercials out with Ford, all these shows he's doing, whether it be viral type shows or like he did the Earth, Wind and Fire versus the Ozzy Brothers doing the verses. He was the host DJ, stuff like that. He's getting a lot of
and not to cut you off.
Yeah,
not to cut you off, but man, I got to say, shout out to Swizz and Timberland for putting verses together, man.
Yeah.
Man, that was a beautiful thing, especially with the pandemic going on. Ain't too much on television, and that's what's up, man.
And they sold that. The Thriller.
Yeah, they did.
They just sold it. They make, so I like the way, that's a hustle mentality. I love that. Making something out of nothing. So
I just saw a new Ozzy video the other day. I was like, this guy's ridiculous.
It was Snoop, right?
Yeah.
He got the beard. He gets in Ron Ozzy. He's 79 years old with a beard. Yeah. He's humped over with the cane.
Was that his video wife or real wife? No, I know he like the young girls and all. I didn't know.
I ain't peeped it.
She had a dime. She had a rock on her finger.
Oh man.
Now he's still married to what's her name?
He ain't married to Angela Winbush no more.
He's not married no more.
Nah,
I saw him together.
I think he got a young.
He been.
Yeah, he got a youngin. He's doing the Al Sharpton route.
Oh boy. Well.
He do Al Sharpton.
Yeah, let him do his thing. Next on my list, Drink Champs. Shout out to Drink Champs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They doing their thing. They have a lot of great interviews.
I was going to say them too.
Yeah, Drink Champs is definitely influential on the social media tip. Shout out to Nori. They're doing their thing out there, even through COVID. They were still doing their thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really would like to know if they really drink a liquor for 2 hours back to back, taking shots. And there's no way, man. There's no way.
Well, I believe it because his word,
I believe it too, man.
He starts slurring to the end now.
And they had 50, and like 50 ain't really a drink, and they had him up there twisted, boy. He was twisted.
That's easy to do dealing with them. And last on my list, y'all gonna laugh at this. You want some comedy, Mike? Here's your comedy.
Yeah.
Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams.
Yo, I got it. Nah, yo, the media, what they call it, the media queen.
Show's over, yo. Can't hear you.
You want some comedy?
Take my mic off, man.
Wendy Williams. Now, as far as I'll give her the respect, as far as coming from where she came from, and I saw that little documentary on Lifetime, which was retarded to a certain degree, but at the same time, it gave a lot of background what she did. You know how she came up in the ranks of
She
the radio
grind,
shows.
man.
She
She
grinded.
grind to
Respect the
get
hustle.
there.
Gotta
You know,
respect the hustle.
Now, as far as her dropping dime and making her so the most hated person in radio and TV, that's her. That's on her. You know, I'd rather be loved than hated. You know, but that's how she want to live. And then her husband dogging her out. But anyway, Wendy Williams, she came a long way. You know, and
Yeah.
the feud she had with Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson, 50 Cent, you name it. She's had feuds with everybody. And each year we listen. I remember listening to her show. Like Charlemagne was on there. You know, he got Charlemagne.
Yeah.
He brought him up for a minute, and then he went out and spread his wings. You know, so you got to respect those who paved some ways back in the day.
Charlemagne was one I was going to put on my list, but I was like, you know, he's more radio, but you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They paid the way for us, no doubt. Well, yo, that's what's up. That was your list?
That was my list. That was it.
That was your list. Yo, well, I guess we could wrap it up there. And, you know, it's perfect to end on social media influence because, I mean, obviously some of these folks that we mentioned and mentioned some of the shows are influenced to us as a grown show as well. And I enjoyed going down these top 5 of the athletes and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm anxious to see what our audience says. Y'all old heads. And they might say that about our rappers, but as for like, I think they'll agree with us on like the athletes and
And then if y'all want to see us do something like this again, we may try to see we think differently some other time down the road. Maybe even having a guest chime in.
It could be a different top 5 of something else.
A different top 5 of something else.
Yes.
Exactly.
But fellas, I think that before we end, just for DMX, we should have one memory that holds near to us individually. A DMX memory.
Where my dogs at?
Right here, y'all.
Man, I'm a my memory. I'm not gonna lie. I first heard DMX. It was Puff used to actually host mixtapes, man, and they had Niggas Unstarted something, and he went last, and you know how animated Puff was when he was young. He was like, "That's that cat DMX," and I was like, "Yo, this dude is a monster, man." But one of my fondest memories, man, was like he was doing all the features, you know, Killing It, 4, 3, 2, 1, all of those. He was like, "Yeah, but he always talked about the same thing." And then when he dropped "How's It Going Down," it was like, okay, he's showing some versatility. But while I'm saying that, you know, condolences to his family, and
no doubt.
And we're probably, I'm sure we're gonna do a show on addiction, you know, on one time. I mean, we're gonna touch on that, but I hope you know, whoever's fighting addiction get some help. And I know I've had friends that were addicted to stuff, man. It's not an easy thing to shake. And matter of fact, I got friends that still battling demons, man. And this is going on for years. So I just want to plug that in, man. Condolences to anybody. And if you fight an addiction, we praying for you. And you need that's all I can say.
Don't be afraid to go out and get some help.
Yeah, man. And I love that he was real about it, man. Most people they lie about it, which I can understand. It's their business, but he was real about it. And I think that's why it hit us so hard, man, because we was all rooting for him, man. We was all rooting for him.
Yeah.
But that's my.
We'll add a national addiction hotline into the description of this episode. But definitely check your local area as well. And maybe get some. If you're struggling, find that instant help and start locally too.
Yeah, but that's my last. That's my last take on X, man. Many memories, man. Clubs, man, and the.
That was mine. Yeah, you said for me, man. Mine was gonna be clubs for me. But I will say that something that I do take away is that for someone that was he was real, but I also respected his faith as well. You know what I mean? He was a believer.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And even through his struggles, you know, that never fainted. You know what I'm saying? And I always respect him for being, especially in some of the spots he was going to, in the most gutter spots he going to, he gonna stop and pray. Regardless if y'all thought that was that people may think, the audience may, or somebody may feel that it was a performance or whatever, regardless of however, because God going to use you however he want to use you, and use any vessel. And regardless of who is through, he touched someone, if we got out, and he was going into the most gutted spots and praying for him. You know what I mean? And that's powerful. So,
yeah. I mean, I have countless memories about DMX, but I think what stands out to me more than anything was a lot of road trips with the fellas, with the CD case in your lap.
yes,
Just flipping through, because he had probably 2-3 CDs by the time we was doing these road trips. And you drop the joint and everybody bopping their head to it. Y'all been eating long enough, girl.
Smoke in the air.
Stop being greedy. You know what I'm saying? There's just all these lines and verses you can think of. But I think when I think of him, I think of good times. Of good times. But I also think of him, I think of struggle for people who deal with it. People like, because he was a tortured soul, man. I just saw a tribute that Swiss Beats put out recently, actually yesterday. And he was saying, which was really sad, he said that my brother DMX, he would go to jail to get peace.
Yeah, man.
He said that was his only place he would get. He wasn't going to jail on purpose, but when he was going there, that's where he got peace, because he was struggling, because he was suffering for other people. That's what he was saying. He was mentally struggling for other people.
And that slipping video, man, you watch that now, man. It's like, it's kind of showing what just happened. It shows the doctors, trying to bring him back to life, and shows him fighting demons, man. That video is kind of like, that's another thing I want to put out to the audience, man. The power of your tongue, man, and your thoughts, man, and what you write down, man, is very powerful, man. So watch what watch that energy you put out there, man.
Yep. Yeah, definitely good times. Definitely when I think of X, good times, good memories, man. So this is great, fellas, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. I've learned some stuff, probably along with the audience, with some of these social media.
Mark, pump that joint.
Let me find out, Mike.
Let me find out. So, and like I was saying earlier, that we hopefully will be, as our listeners will be on your top list of social media influencers as well. Yeah. So, we appreciate y'all as always. So on that note, I'm Alexander.
I'm Big Mike.
I'm El Boogie.
Peace.